Let me tell you how I found out my husband had an outside kid. Yes, I was married to this man for 22 years, and when I tell you I was livid, okay? Not one outside baby, but two. Yes, two outside kids. Back in the days, they had phone records that come in the mail, and baby, I began to check the phone records, and I began to see this number popping up often, baby, at 5 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you know nothing open but legs at midnight, okay? That's how that's what I was told. But lo and behold, I dialed this number, and baby, the girl, she answered the phone, and I was just like, do you know such and such? She was like, yes, I do. I said, how you know him? We work together. Oh, okay. Okay, well, no problem. Hey, we ain't got no problem. But anyway, we work together. And I said, okay, well, cool. She said, but we also have a 1-month-old together. I said, what? Not 1 month. She said, yes, yes. So, I called Mr. Man. He lied, denied. He said she was lying and this and this. And so, baby, we called them together. And, baby, I began to say, so she said that she's not lying, that you're lying. Oh, she don't know what she's talking about. But at this point, he don't even know she on the phone right now, baby. So she said, oh, we don't have a kid together. And he hung up. And that's when I knew. Everything in me dropped. And everything in me didn't want to believe it. But it was the truth. And I confronted him, called him like 20-some times. He finally answered the phone. And when he answered the phone, I tore into his ass. What's going on? He crying, and I'm so sorry. I messed up. And whoop-de-woo, and I'm crying. And we just are crying too. And I knew that I could not accept the situation for what it was worth. But lo and behold, I wanted it to work. But no, I didn't accept it, okay? I began to move on eventually. And I was like, okay, I can't accept this. I got to let this go. I don't deserve this. I'm the wife, and I have to accept a side chick coming in the middle having a baby. And it wasn't the baby's fault. And eventually down the line, I probably could have cared for the kid like that, like it was my own, but I didn't feel like I had to. So I decided to let him bear his own burden. That wasn't my problem. That was him and her's problem. So that's what I did. So 2015, brother passed away. My son was with him. My son had a basketball tournament. I decided to go to Orlando, Florida. My son played basketball in the tournament. We was getting along just fine. And I was like, okay, I don't know, maybe a little chance for us, because maybe, he was just real super nice. And we was going to theme parks together. We were just having a good time as a family. And I miss that so much. I miss my kids being around their dad, miss the kids being around, because again, we was still married. We were separated when everything happened. We separated or whatever, but nonetheless, everything just was beautiful that day. So I go back to Atlanta, he go back to New York, and I mean, he's calling every single day. And I was just like, wow, so maybe I should consider taking his ass back. Well, baby, he began to send a picture of the little boy, and I was livid. I wasn't over it. The kids wasn't over it. The kids even cried when I told them the situation about the baby. They was devastated because, again, this man was, this is their father. And, they had to share their father with the new baby. So, the kids were devastated. But anyway, long story short, because, baby, he began to, I confronted him about the picture, and he was just, he didn't think it was a big deal. And I said, you know what? I got something for you. You're not going to see these kids over here no more because you shouldn't have did that. And I was wrong for saying that at the time because I was immature. I was hurt. I could not begin to process my own emotions. I was just an emotional wreck, okay? So he said, oh, okay, I got you. I ain't got to see the no more because I got a baby on the way anyway. I said, oh, he lying. He's trying to make me mad. He wasn't lying. He wasn't lying because I heard in the soul because he said she had a baby on the way, and I can ask her myself. Oh, I wanted to, but this go around, I wasn't even going to give myself the pleasure. I wouldn't give, not the pleasure, but the pain of even going back through the situation. So I accepted. I said, okay, no problem. No problem. Of course, I cried all night long. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't understand it. But lo and behold, I had to get past. I had to get on. I had to get over it. And I had to accept the fact that this man was a liar, a cheater. He wasn't a good person towards his family. He devastated the family. He devastated the household. And I was hurt. It wasn't just one woman. It was several women that came about. Okay? Several women that came about. And I had to accept what I didn't understand at the time. I had to pray to God on many occasions to help me get through it because I felt so defeated. I felt it was so unfair for him to get out there and do his own thing. And here I am taking care of the kids, bearing the responsibility of the kids, making sure the kids are straight. And here I am, not even in my right state of mind to even feel healthy enough to take care of my children mentally. And he out there creating more lives and babies and situations. And he decided then that he wasn't really supporting me and my children anymore, because he had a new baby. And, asking him for something was like talking to the wind, asking the wind to give me some money. Okay. So all kind of devastating things going on. My brother passed away in 2015. We had to go bury my brother. My son, it was just so much going on, and so much that I didn't even see me coming out of it at the time. But I did. I made it, and I had to come to the conclusion that was not my self-worth because of what happened to me. Okay, it happened to me. It happened to me, but it didn't happen to destroy me. It actually made me strong. It made me a better person. It made me a great woman I am today. Okay? It helped me to see myself in another light, and it took a while. It wasn't easy, guys. It was downright trying. Okay, I had to go through it. I had to see myself in freedom, because I wasn't free. Okay, I was tormented mentally. I did not like myself. I didn't like how I looked. I didn't like anything about me. But I had to get over it, because I allowed this marriage to shape me. Okay, I had no identity. My identity was in this man alone, because I was so used to being a wife, being a mother to my children, to where I didn't even know if I was coming or going. I poured everything into that situation, that marriage. So I was not going to allow anybody to come in and I got to move over and get out the way. No, I'm going to move over and get out the way for real. Okay? On my own term. I'm not going to sit here and accept that I got to deal with a man who decides to have a new kid. Deal with women who he was laying around with. This man was out of control. He did not care at this point. All he wanted was what he wanted, and guess what? I wanted what I wanted. And I wasn't going to allow him to keep tormenting me, making me feel like I was inadequate, making me feel like I was dumb. I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel any of those things. I felt horrible about myself. I felt like life was just failing, okay? I didn't feel like a great parent. I didn't feel motivated. I didn't feel inspired. I was just living. I was just going through life emotionless, okay? Full of emotions, but no direction. Okay, ending up with little jobs that wasn't paying about nothing, couldn't even afford to really pay my bills, him not helping me financially, all the strain of the kids, the burden was on me 100%. So I had to bear that. And it wasn't easy what I had to bear. But I just thank God that God allowed me to be strong. Even when I feel like I wasn't strong, he gave me strength. Okay, he gave me the willpower to figure out how to move on. And it took me years. It wasn't months. It took me years to get over the situation, to get over the fact that he had 2 kids. Because I just could not fathom. I could not wrap my mind around the first one. But here's the second one. And baby, she act like she was the prize. And you know what? She probably was in his mind, in his mind, whatever. I had to come to the conclusion that I am choosing me. So I chose me. I chose to move on. I chose to bear the pain. I chose to relive it every time I had to relive it. And I had to, because I couldn't get it out my head. So I had to go ahead and just deal with the brunt of it. I had to stay busy. I had to stay grinding, rooted in myself, rooted in God. I had to get deep into God. I had to accept, what was taking place, accept my faith. Because I knew that it wasn't changing. I knew that I couldn't go back. I knew that we couldn't turn back the hands of time from this. That it wasn't no coming back from this. And it wasn't easy. I felt like my children saw me in turmoil. I couldn't get past it, guys. I just could not seem to figure out. Life had became great. It was nothing light about life. There was no light about life at that time. I didn't see the end. I couldn't see the end. All I saw was what was before me. All I saw was opposition after opposition, trial after trial. And I said, God, you really don't like me. Because if you like me, it's no way you would allow me to bear this pain. This man doing what he want to do, getting babies. Here I am trying to be Mr. Good Wife and Mrs. Good Wife and failed miserably. So I blamed myself for a lot of what was going on. It couldn't have been my fault. Some things I admit that I could have done better, but I didn't deserve 2 outside kids. The family didn't deserve that. So no, when a man go out there and do his own thing, you're not just doing it to me. You're doing it to the family. So say what you want to say. I don't care. You're doing it to your family. But I promise you, I'm over it. I have no qualms. Do him and I get along? Absolutely not. I tried to get along. I've tried to see past it to where I just became, I began to feel sorry for him eventually. Because I know in no way in your right state of mind that you are the person that you are. There's no one in your right state of mind that you come to destroy and don't want to heal, don't want to change. Don't want to be better. Don't want to not be so. I'm like, I know you got to be tired of being so angry. Who are you angry with, yourself? And I think I had to conclude that he was angry with himself. But he blamed me as if I was the one that put it in her. Okay? Baby, it was your little wood, not mine. Because I ain't got one. I can't create no kids. I can just hold them. So I came to the conclusion that this man wasn't changing, that he didn't want to change. And I realized that I couldn't go back to that. But to God be the glory that he got me through it. I wasn't stuck. I let it go. Okay, and it took me a while to let it go. I felt so broken. I felt so unworthy. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I had did something so horrible that I did something to something. I just couldn't understand why. I was already going through a lot at that time. Living with somebody, no money, didn't have a job at the time, and he was supporting us at the time, but at the same time, I eventually got a job, but couldn't get couldn't get something that was really good because I had small kids I was still raising that needed my attention, that wasn't able to go to daycare right away. So I had to be home. So I've been through it. So I do what I have to do on this time because I don't ever want to be that person again. To nobody, to no man, to nobody. Because I had to endure a rough patch, a rough season where I did not see my way out. All I knew was I was just going through the motions. That's what it felt like at the time. That God did not love me, that God did not care about me, that God cared about everybody else but me. But God. That he got me through it every step of the way, that he had never left me, nor did he forsake me. To where the times I felt like I just wanted to give up on life. But I would have to look at the face of my children, and that motivated me to keep going. And that was the only thing that was motivating me outside of God himself. And even at the time, God felt so distant. It felt like nothing was working for me. When they say all things work together for your good, God really means that. But at the time, you can't see it because you are so in it. You're so locked into what you feel, every emotion, every critical point, every situation. You feel everything. It felt like I would never come to the end of that thing. And I'm like, God, he just getting away with murder. He's over there living his life. He happy, him and her flossing. They done had kids. I mean, they just happy together. And here I am miserable. trying to raise my kids, trying to figure out what's my next move, where we gonna live, what we gonna eat today, how I'm gonna get another car. Oh, but when I tell you, we serve an awesome and a mighty God, we do. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. This is my story time, and I'm done. Bye.